Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures, and it's time for our weekly painting progress. And it was really tough to do much progress this week because, as I mentioned somewhere, I got sick by my daughter and it just took me forever to get over, and I just didn't have the energy to bother painting much. Didn't have the energy to paint much. I did paint a little bit. Hopefully, we'll see more stuff next week, but I promise it will be the usual eclectic mix. Starting off with this Foxhound. Literally, Foxhound. Like, Metal Gear reference. I tried to paint it like a fox. I am not super familiar with how foxes look, but I did have to do a little bit of research. And I'm not sure if it was supposed to be a dog or a fox. Hence the whole Foxhound / Metal Gear reference, but this comes to us from Martin Atelier, part of their Magical Girls Assault. This came along with Izanami, I believe it was, and I don't know where I put her. And I know I painted her, and I've got quite a few other ones, and I do know for a fact, if you are interested in the Magical Girl Assault models, which are very much a, nice spin on the traditional kind of JRPG, girl with gun aesthetics. They've got some fun models, and they actually have physical releases because I just got some in the mail the other day. So yeah, maybe I'll even do a video. I am so backlogged on stuff that needs to be filmed. I have gotten really bad about that. So hopefully we can fix that up over vacation, which is just around the corner. We got another of the Garmic Ninja Rats done. Not the best paint job. I know it's super zoomed in. My Foxhound being on a 32mm base just because his legs are so far apart, whereas the Ninja Rat is on a 25. It looks super washed out. It doesn't look as bad in person, but I do need to go back and actually do something with his nose. It's kind of boring and generic, and I don't like the paint job on his tail. Was trying to play around with some of the new Vallejo inks that I picked up over Thanksgiving break. And I'm not super pleased with the results yet, but we'll continue to goof around with them. Now, for whatever reason, the rest of the models this week, the black paint that I got, I guess just wasn't really mixed as well as I thought, and all of it, after I sprayed it, just came out awful. So I'm going to have to go back and touch everything up. But we'll start off with a absolutely obscure one. So obscure, in fact, that it's not even from a game or thing that's been released yet. And that's this guy from Slave 0X. And you can see here, look what happened with the base. I don't know what went on with that. It just, everything kind of faded off. But Slave 0X is a new side-scrolling pixel fighter / sword play shinobi style game that is a sequel to Slave Zero, which was like a late 90s Dreamcast / PC game. So that's like really dating itself. But here we are in the year 20, almost 23, and we're getting a sequel to it. That's just kind of nuts. But I saw the designs originally, just browsing some of the various places that I do, and I was like, ooh, that looks really cool. That looks super 90s-ish. Like, what's his name? Tony Takazaki. The guy that did a lot of the 80 Police and designs and manga and Bubblegum Crisis. He was kind of working along with them. But I saw that, and then I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And then Erkman's Minis, of all things, decided to go and make a figure based on it. I'm like, well, that's got to get printed and painted immediately, because that is just such a bizarrely obscure reference. I've got to get to it. It's also super gigantic, but it's not even human, so, at least it wasn't supposed to be. If I remember correctly, everything in Slave Zero were all robots. I remember playing it, and I remember hating it on the Dreamcast because it had very PC-like controls, and that was in the days before, there were such things as good console to PC ports and crossplay and all that. But yeah, anyways. So, super obscure model. Had to get it done. And I also have to get some of his Fate models done now. Once he threw that gauntlet down, I'm like, well, gotta do that. So the other stuff that I worked on this weekend were the Hexbane's Hunters. So we got the dogs. Very, very simple paint job. Super simple. In fact, I probably should go back and do something with the dogs because they're kind of boring as is. I went ahead and painted the rest of the warband. They came out okay. It's kind of, yeah. I'm really irritated with those bases. Maybe I didn't let it dry enough. I don't know. It's all kind of frosty like that at the bottom. But that's the only thing that's really an issue with these figures. So I don't know. I don't know what happened. I figure I could have done a better job with the stakes that he's carrying, being as he's in the business of hunting vampires and whatnot, with his hammer and stakes and giant axe and a cleaver. These guys with the perfect grimy paint job, which I'm not that capable of, I think would be great for a Mordheim band. So we have our masked hunter here with his bomb bolts for his crossbow. I went ahead and gave him a more bronzy mask. Super simple paint job. Like I said, I want to get these guys on the table actually because my kid's like, oh yeah, I want to play for Warhammer Underworlds again. And with the new Goblin team coming out, I know he's interested in those. So I'm like, okay. Not that I needed much convincing. I'm not super happy with how she came out either. Gonna need a little bit of touch up here and there. The color on the pants, I'm very disappointed with. It looked better before I sprayed everything. Of course, having the weird weather that we've had for the last few days in Southern California may be part of the cause. I need to fix up her face as well. We can do that. And then finally we have the Inquisitor that comes along with the warband. And unfortunately, with the way the shadows are, and the skin looks much better in person on their face. I don't know if it's a man or a woman, to be honest. I think it's a man. I could be completely wrong. It really didn't come out good on camera. It looks like it's part of her cloak. His cloak. Whoever's cloak. Otherwise, I mean, it's all right. I know I tried to do a decent job and tried to blend some colors there. But it is what it is. So yeah, I've been trying to finish up my Gore Chosen band as well as these guys. So at least I got one team pretty much down. And we should have another one in the near future. Of course, I got time now to touch them up and make them look better. And that's okay. Hopefully, we will see something from my brother, Mr. Percival Sparkletrout. But he was too busy with the latest Warframe update. And we all know that when Warframe updates, he will not be found anywhere else. He'll be found in front of his computer. So, I'm happy I at least got a nice little haul of stuff finished. Hopefully, I will have some more interesting things to show off next week. Hopefully, you all out there are going to have interesting things. I forgot we did say we were going to do that weekly painting progress hashtag thing on Instagram, and then I didn't bother like painting anything all week, really. So, I will try to get back on top of that myself. I have been printing and printing and printing and having way too much fun doing that, and I don't have anything to show for it. So, hopefully, we can have some videos on that in the future too. So if you're interested in any of this, we'll have the links down below. Not that there's too much this week, so that makes my job much easier, and hopefully everybody out there is staying safe and staying busy and going to enjoy some vacation time in the very near future as well. So with that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye.